ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृष्णे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 33, verse number 28. So these are the questions, or this is the question which is raised by King Parikshit. In the previous two verses we read where he asked that sanstapana dharmasya prasmaitrasya cha avtirno hi bhagvanam sena jagdeshwara sakatham dharm saitunam karta bhakta bhirakshita pratipamacharat brahman pardarabhimarshinam. So why did he behave seemingly in a immoral or irreligious way? So although he is Bhagavan, he is Ishvara, he is the establisher of dharma, it is not possible that he will act against it, but his action appears like that. Therefore the doubt comes. and it is not easy to understand, especially for a dharmic mind, those who are rooted in dharma. It is very difficult to think that God will do something like this. So that's why Bhāgavatam says in the very beginning, Mahyanti yat suraya, that even the great Suris are confused or bewildered in this. So Parikshit is aptly asking this question for the benefit of those who have this doubt. So we read the explanation by Sri Jiva Goswami. Now let's read also by Sri Vishwanath. He writes not much. At Parikshit sabhaupvishtanam vividha vasnavatam karmi jnani prabhritinam hridaya sandeha samudbhutam alakshya taduchchedartham pritchati samsthapanayarthaya. So in the sabha of King Parikshit, there were various type of people coming from different backgrounds. Vividha vasana here means related to different schools of thought. Not that everybody was a Vaishnava, there were also other people following other paths. So they had doubt in their mind that why God performed this. So to remove that doubt, Parikshit asked this question, Samsthapanaya dharmasya. Itarasya adharmasya. The word itarasya means the adharmasya. Ya khalu amsena jagdishwaro vishnur bhavati sa swayam bhagavan avtirna. So that Bhagavan himself, who by his part is amsa, why did he act in this way? Yadva amsena baldevena saya. Or the word amsena means who appeared along with Baldeva. Pratipam pratikulam. Pratipam means contrary, which here means adharma, because the earlier word used is dharma. Yadi cha Śrīmad-Bhāgavata eva acharaditi uchyate tada brahma sapam angikritya tat phalam cha kadachid ishwaratve api angikaroti yatha tatha eva papam angikrita tat phalam api avashyam angikuryad iti akshepa iti ekah prashna. Now if one says that he is Ishvara, he is free to do anything. So if you say that, then just as he accepted the curse of the Brahmanas curse that his family will be destroyed, this comes in later. So then he should also get the result of this. He should also accept the sin by the action which is irreligious. So kadachid ishwaratvepi angikaroti yatha tathaiva papam angikrita tat phalam avashyam angikuryat. So then this must also come to him. So that is one doubt. And then the next sloka says apt kamo yadupatihi kritvan vai jugupsitam kim abhipraya tamna samshayam chindi subrata. So he said, O Subrata, or one who is fixed in good vows, that Krishna, who is called Yadupati, and he is Aptakama, he has no desires to satisfy, so he definitely acted as Jugupsitam, as in a despicable manner, abominable manner, he behaved. This is not expected. But since he is a knowledgeable person, he is not an ordinary person who just acts in a frivolous manner. So people of his caliber, they do something, they have some purpose behind it. So he says, Kim Abhiprayam, with what intention did he do this? Etam na samshaya, this is the doubt of all of us. Na means in plural. Let's not say that it is my doubt. So Chindi Subrata, please cut my doubt kindly. answer my question. So Parmeshwarasya nayam adharma iti chet. So if you say that he is Parmeshwara, this is not adharma for him, because he is beyond dharma and adharma. So if this is what your reply is, still my question is that even if he is beyond adharma, then why did he do it? What is his abhipraya, his purpose, his intention behind it? So, ninditamidam kena abhiprayena chakara iti prachati aptakama iti. Because he is aptakama. Tena svakama purnartham idam kritvan iti pratyuttram na datavyam. So by saying that he is aptakama, he is saying that please do not say that he performed it to satisfy his wish, his desire, because he is aptakama, he has already fulfilled, attained all his desires. He is free from that. Avatare asmin etadrisham jugupsitam eva kartavyam avasyam iti chet ataha yadupati. And if you say that in this particular avatar he came to do such wrong acts only, so that says that is also not, because he is Yadupati. So Yadupati means Yadu was a very dharmic person. When his father asked him to exchange his youth, he refused, although as an obedient son he should not have refused. His father was Yayati. He was cursed by Shukracharya. So then he wanted that, Shukracharya said that you can exchange your old age with the youth of any one of your sons. So he asked Yadu. Yadu said no, because he knew that he is going to engage in a religious act by my youth. So better remain old. He already acted wrongly, because he was told not to have any relationship with Sarmishta. But he did not listen. So therefore he said that no. So he said, you are Parama Dharmika Nam Yadu Nam Pati. So you are the master of the Yadus, who are highly religious people. Tarhi katham abhut iti bhava. So how is this thing happened then, that he acted in this irreligious manner? This is the question. Naiti, so then he says, as natu kevalasya mamatra samshayo asti ityartha. So the use of plural says that it is not just my doubt, but many have this doubt besides me. Tasya apt kamatve api atma ramatve api premananda swarupa abhi stabhi sotkantham ramanam yujyate eva iti gyat praya rahasya siddhantatvat iti bhava. So he says that although he is aptakam and he is atmaram, who takes pleasure in himself, so it is proper for him to relish the company of gopis, because they are all premananda swarupa. They are personified bliss of love. So this is gyata praya, this we understand. But the question is that why is that this happened? Rahasya siddhantatvat. Suvrata iti sadachar parayanasya tabapi asyam eva lilayam ati avesha darshanad ete samserate iti bhava. And you are suvrata, you are very fixed, you are very pious, religious, actually you are beyond everything, but still your character is impeccable, sadachar parayana. Yet we saw that you were very absorbed when you described this pastime. He is the same person who had no interest in anything, who did not know the difference between male and female, vivikta drishte, tavasti stri pumbhuda nasutasya, vivikta drishte. So, mano pritchati jagdo iti tabasti. This is what the ladies told to Vyasa, that your son has no stri pumbhida, that is, he does not know the distinction between male and female. But now why is he describing this with so much interest? So that shows that this has nothing to do with ordinary male and female. Otherwise, why is Shukdev taking interest in it, who had no interest in anything material? So we cannot say that he enjoyed like materialistic people may enjoy talking about relationship between boys and girls. So Shukdev is beyond that. Yet, as we read earlier also, that he showed a very special interest in describing this. So this is therefore a doubt that what is the mystery behind it? Why did he act like that? So therefore now Sukadeva Goswami, he replies in different ways. So first he says, Sri Shuka Uvacha, Dharma Vyatikramo Drishta Ishvaranam cha sahasam Tejiyasam na doshaya vanne sarva bhujo yatha. So first he says that those who are powerful people, those who are Ishvara, who belong to the class of Ishvaras, sometimes it is seen that they transgress the religious principles. They act in an immoral way. But this is not a flaw in them because they are powerful. Tejiyasam. And he gives an example of this. Vanne sarva bhujo yatha. So just like blazing fire. So if you put anything in blazing fire, then it burns that. Whether it is clean or unclean, it doesn't care. Means fire does not get impure. If you put some impure thing into it, it will burn that also. If you pour nice Havish ingredients for yajna which are very pure, it burns that. If you throw some impure stuff into it, it will burn that also. And that does not influence the fire. So he says there are people who are like that some ill behavior does not cause any trouble to them because they are powerful. So kritasyapi adharmasya phalam ishvaranam api na bhavet kimut parmeshwarasya. So here in the first reply he is not denying that this is not immoral. He did not say that. So in a way he is not being apologetic. He says yes, but it does not influence them. That is his first reply. So he says those who are powerful people, Ishvara, even if they act in a dharmic manner, so they do not get influenced by its result. And what to speak of Krishna, who is Parameshvara, who is the Supreme Ishvara. So, Pratham Prasna Uttaramaha Dharmeti Shadvi. So he begins to reply to the first question in 6 slokas. So that was that why did he act wrongly. So Ishvaranam Rudradinam Dharma Vyatikramo Adharmo Drishtaha. So he says sometimes Ishwaras like Rudra, they may perform a dharmic act. They may transgress the moral principles, dharmic principles. Sahasam, sahas hetuka ityartha. Why they do it? Says because of their daring, temerity, their audacity, that they do that. They are not fearful that if I do this, what will happen? I will go to hell, etc. Na doshaya na pratyavaya. But this does not bring any dosha in them, any defect, any flaw. Vanner yatha sarvbhuktatvam. So one is called sarvbhuk. This is one name of the fire that can eat anything. So anything means good or bad, clean or unclean. Na doshaya na pavitraya tadvat. So it does not become impure by putting something impure in it. So like that, the acts of Ishwaras, if they are immoral, do not influence them. But this does not mean that others should do this, because one may think, well, if they are doing, then we can also do that, because they are our ideal. So then what will stop us from doing it? So therefore he says, Nayatat samacharet jatu mansapi hi anishvara vinashyati acharan modhyat yatha rudro abhijam visham. But those who are not Ishwaras, who are not powerful like Rudra, etc., they should not perform these activities even mentally. Because sometimes people say that in Kali Yuga, only if you act on something wrong, you will get the result. If you think about it, you don't get it. Some belief in Kali Yuga people. So he says, no, don't do this even with your mind, mansapi. Don't even think of doing it. Why? Because you will be lost, you will be destroyed. Vinashyati acharan modhyat. If you do that, if you think, then one day you will act on it. So you will be destroyed. You will be consumed by that immoral act. You will be lost. As Arjuna is asking to Krishna, what happens to a yogi who does not make it? And then he dies. Is he lost? So vinashyati acharan maudhyat, by his foolishness he will be lost. Yatha rudro abdhijam visham. So Rudra, he drank the poison which came out from the churning of the ocean. So he drank it, but nothing happened to him. Rather he became famous as Nilakantha. But if anyone else thinks of even smelling it, then he will be gone. He will sleep forever. So therefore he says that one should not think that they can also act like that. Tarhi yad yad acharti shrestha iti nyayena nyopi kuryat. So if someone says that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says yad yad acharti shrestha tattadev vitrojana sayat pramanam kurte lokas tadanuvartate. So whatever actions great established people, famous people, they do, then common person takes those actions as an example and follows them, considers them as authority. So his actions are considered as authoritative. Therefore others try to emulate them. So what about that? These people are great, Krishna is God, so people may take his example. So he says, no, Anishwaro Nikrishto Jiva. So one who is not a Ishvara means who is just common Jiva should not think of doing this even with mind. Yatha Rudra Vyatirikto Vishamacharan bhanjana sadhya vinashyati. So just like anyone other than Rudra would try to take that poison, because there were many other gods present there when this poison came out. Indra was there, Vrishparva, the king of the Asuras, was also there. So they are all very powerful people. So they should have also drank it. He says, we are going to get Amrita, before that let's take this. So then there will be no Amrita, they would have died. So he says, those who are not Ishvara, which means Rudra Vyatirikta, other than Rudra. So here the word Ishvara is used for Rudra. So they will die immediately, without any waiting. Like what is that? Potassium cyanide is supposed to be very poisonous. So that if you touch it to your tongue, you die immediately. You heard that?
Cyanide.
Cyanide, potassium cyanide. So one scientist wanted to tell the taste of it. So he took a pen and tasted it. He wrote S and he died. So we don't know whether S meant sour or it meant sweet. So that is the meaning of Sadhya Vinashyati. Die immediately. Rudrastu bhuktva pratyut nilkanthatvena shobhate smaiti bhava. But Rudra became glorious. People praise him for drinking this poison even today, that how compassionate he is. But it's not recommended for others. Ishwaranam vachah satyam tathaivaacharitam kvachit tesham yat svavacho yuktam buddhimans tat samacharet. So he says that the words of the Ishwaras are true, means the instructions, the teachings which they give, they are right. And tathaiva acharitam kvachit. And then they also follow what they say sometimes they do not. So there tesham yat svavacho yuktam buddhimans tat samacharet. So therefore one should take that which corresponds, which is not contradictory to their behavior, means their instructions and behavior are matching, that is to be followed, and not which goes against their instruction. So therefore he says that even to follow you have to use your buddhi. You cannot just throw away your buddhi and follow blindly. So we have to be careful. You have to understand. Therefore it is important to understand Shastra, what is to be followed, what is not to be followed. There is adhikar. Not everybody has the adhikar for everything. So what is my status, where do I stand, what is my adhikar, my eligibility, then I should act correspondingly. Just because somebody else has acted like that does not mean I can also act like that. So this is important to understand. Katham tarhi sadacharasya pramanyam. So then how will we know which behavior is authentic? Sadachar means behavior of Satpurushas. So they are all Satpurusha. Krishna is also Satpurusha. He is also Satyam Param. So his behavior is Sadachar. Then how do I know which is authentic, means which is to be followed and which is not to be followed? So therefore it says Ishwaranam Satyam Vacha Satyam. Satyam, he says Sadbhyo Hitam, that which is beneficial for saintly people. Kvachit, so in sometimes, Dasrath Putratva Sati Ityartha. He said just like son of Dashrath Sri Ramchandra, so his behavior is impeccable. He did not act immorally. So even when he was in the exile and Ravan's sister came, so when she saw him, she was attracted to him. She approached him that I want to marry you. So he said, I am already married. So he did not accept her. Could have also accepted. As a prince, he can have 2 wives. But not. So he was ek patni vrata. He was devoted to just 1 wife. Even when he sent her in exile later on, when they returned to Ayodhya, he did not marry again. So his behavior is an ideal behavior. Therefore, in the Sahitya there is a statement, Ramadivat Vartitavya, Natu Ravanadivat. Then the teaching of Sahitya is that we should act like Bhagwan Ram and not like Ravana. That is the principle behind Sahitya. The Sahitya is written taking that as the sutra. Then they make up to teach that. Basically that's what they try to teach. So Ram is considered as an ideal person. So he is not only says but he also acts accordingly. So this is what he says, Tesham yatsva vacho yuktam. Means their behavior which is appropriate in consonance with their words, which is not contradictory to their instructions. So that is samacharit. Intelligent person should follow that. So tasmadiyam vyavastha itya. Therefore this is the vyavastha, this is the principle, or this is what has to be done. Because we have to know that how am I going to take decision, whether I should take this behavior as an behavior that I can emulate, I can follow, or I should not. What is the guiding line for that? So he says that this is the vyavastha, this is the guiding principle. Swavacho yuktam aviruddham tadeva acharet. That behavior which does not contradict their own instructions, that is what we should follow and not the others. So others should not be followed. So buddhiman. So therefore he uses the word buddhiman. So what is the function of buddhi? Buddhi, awareness. So buddhi's function is discrimination. To discriminate what is right, what is wrong. Buddhya yuktaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Krishna says, Jaisa te vihita sanke buddhir yogestu mam shrinu. Buddhya yuktaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So he is talking about buddhi, that you should use your buddhi, and if you will act with proper use of buddhi, then you will become free from the bondage of karma. Because bondage of karma comes when you act wrongly. If you do proper action, then you remain free. So therefore he says, buddhiman iti tatrapi vicharya eva. That buddhi means that you should do vichar. Vichar means deliberation. What is right, what is wrong. What should be done, what should not be done. So gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karya kartum iharasi. That knowing the shastra vidhan, what is the injunction of shastra for me, then I should act. In other words, even God's words are not praman if they are against Shastra. So Shastra is, although Shastra is also God's word, but if he is doing something which goes against the Shastra, then it should not be followed. So that's why Buddha is not followed, because he is speaking against Shastra itself, that Veda is not right or Veda should not be followed. So tadasau vadhyatam papa atayatma bandhuha iti bhagavato vachopi arjunena ashwathama vadvidayakam ne palitam iti. So he gives one example here, that when the war of Kurukshetra was over on the 18th night, then Ashwathama, he was survived. Ashwathama, Kripacharya, Kritvarma, these three people survived from the side of Duryodhana. So in the evening they were searching for Duryodhana, because they knew that Duryodhana had a club fight with Bhima and Bhima broke his thigh, because he took the vow 13 years ago when Duryodhana was motioning to Draupadi to sit on his thigh. So he said, I will break this thigh with my club. So he did it on the 18th day when everything was over. Duryodhana was still alive. Then he ran away and he hid inside a pond. So all the Pandavas were searching for him. Like sometimes you search for a criminal with a dog. So they went around and they came to know that he is inside this pond. So then they spoke to him. So he replied, but he didn't want to come out. So then Yudhishthira spoke. He says that you come out and you fight with any one of us, with whichever weapon you choose, and if you win, we give you all the kingdom. Means we will become your servant. And then Krishna, he hit his head. He says, what is this? After all this effort is done, then this Duryodhana will choose to fight with club, and except for Bhima, there is no one else who can defeat him in club fight. He was a disciple of Balram. And it's only Bhima, not Bhishma, it is only Bhima who could fight with him. So he said, what you have done? He says, think. Buddhiman. So anyway, Duryodhana came out and he was also very proud, because Krishna pumped him up. He says, you are very Kshatriya. Kshatriya should fight with equal. So he said, yes, these people are useless for me. Why shall I fight with them? I'll fight with Bhima. Says, good. So he's saved. So then they fought, and then Balram also came there at that time, which became a problem. So then Bhima, Krishna told him that now is the chance for you to fulfill your vow. So he hit him on the thigh and he fell down. So imagine if your thighs are broken, you cannot walk. So then he did not kill him, but he kicked him on his head, which nobody liked, including Yudhishthira. Bhima is such a dhiro datta hero, So he kicked him on his head because he was so angry at him. So then they left him and went away. So Duryodhana is lying in the midst of all these dead bodies. So Ashwathama, Kripacharya, they were searching for him. So at night they saw him, and these jackals were trying to drink his blood. He was still alive. So So when he saw him in that situation, Ashwatthama, he became very angry. He says, he is our king and he is lying here like this. There is no one even to give him a cup of water. He is the same person who was always surrounded by great men. Great kings bowed down to him. Duryodhana was also very powerful. His name is Duryodhana, means who is good at fighting. So that's when he said that I will take revenge, and he went to the camp at night. Of course, when he went there, he saw this huge man standing and guarding. So that was Shiva standing there. So he prayed, he appeased him, and then he went inside and he killed. Because Krishna has already taken the Pandavas away from there. So he thought that he is killing the Pandavas, but he killed the 5 sons and brought their heads and gave it to Duryodhana. So Duryodhana was not very happy also. He said, what did you do? You killed these 5 sons. If you had killed Pandavas, I will be happy. But why did you kill the children? And then Duryodhana died. So in the next day morning when they found out, then Arjuna, Draupadi obviously was crying. Then Arjuna went with Krishna in search of Ashwatthama, and the whole story is described in Bhāgavatam. So then he caught him alive, and then Krishna said, kill him. Because he told to Draupadi when she was crying that, don't cry, I will bring the head of Ashwatthama and you can take bath on his head. In this way I will remove your distress. So Krishna said, now fulfill your word to Draupadi, kill him. That's what he's saying. Tadasau badhyatam papa. He says he is a very sinful person. Kill him. Badhyatam. Attayi atma bandhuha. He is an atatai. He is an aggressor and he is a bandhuha. He is a killer of your children. So Arjuna did not do that. Krishna told him to do it. Bhima was also saying, kill him. So he did not kill. In fact, Krishna later on said, Brahma bandhurna hantavya atatayi vadharhana mayev ubhav amnatam paripahi anushashanam. He says that Brahma bandhu, Brahmana should not be killed, but atatayi should be killed. Ayantamev hanyatat atatayinam. Attatayis should be killed if you see him coming to you. Agnida gardaschaya kshetra pani dhanarpaha. These 5 are called attatayis. One who gives poison, one who puts house to fire, and they have done all this. So he says, kill him. So he did not. So this is what he says, Iti Bhāgavata vacho api Arjunena Ashwatthama vad vidhayakam ne palitam. He says Arjuna, he did not follow Krishna's instruction which he gave him to kill Ashwatthama. So this is the meaning that Ishwaranam vacha satyam tathaiva charitam kachit, because Krishna himself also would not do that. Only he is saying. So kushalachritena esham he swartho na vidyate viparyena vanartho nirahankarinam prabho. So he says that people like Krishna, they have nothing to gain by acting in a kushal, proper manner. Kushal acharitena esham he swartho na vidyate. And if they act in a wrong way, then they also do not get any anartha. Why? Because they are nirahankari. They are not functioning on the basis of their ahankara. Means they are not guided by their material ego. In the material world, we have raga and dvesha, and because of that we do things for which we have raga, and we avoid things for which we have dvesha. We protect or support people towards whom we have raga, and we hate or may kill those towards whom we have dvesha. This is the ahankara functions in the material world. But these people are not like that. So even a yogi is not like that. Naivam kinchit karomiti yukto mannit tattvat pashyan srinvan spasan jignan asnan gachan swapanshasam. So even a yogi thinks, I don't do anything, because he is not attached to his ahankara. This does not mean that he does not act, but he does not associate with the actions. He does not think he is the doer of those actions. And yasya nahankrito bhavo buddhiri yasya nilipyate hatvapi saiman lokan nahanti na nibadhyate. So one who does not have this sense of doership, ahankrita bhava, and his intelligence is not implicated in the results of actions, means who remains detached from both action and the result. So then they do not get the karma, means the result of their action. They are not bound by that. So the bondage actually is not by the action, but by the attachment to the action and its result. That's what brings bondage. Action itself is not binding. But when we are attached to the result of that action or to the action itself, that's what we get. Bound to it, and we have to get the result. So the Ishwaras which are described here, they are not like that, because they have nothing to gain or lose by doing good, or by doing bad. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to gain by doing good. So does it mean that they are just frivolous? They act like that? He says no, they act for the welfare of humanity. Whatever they do, they only do to establish dharma, to show path to humanity. But they themselves are not getting any good or bad karma. So that is the meaning of that kushalachariteena yasham swarthona vidyate viparyena vanartha nirahankarinam, because their actions are not impelled by their ahankara. So there is no commentary by Sri Vishwanath on this. So this is the situation of people who are nirahankari. What to speak of people who are beyond material gunas? They are obviously not implicated in karma. So kimutakhilla sattvanam tiriyang martya divokasam ishutayeschesitavyanam kushala kushalan vayaha. He says, what can be said about people who are ishitu, who are controllers of all others, ishitavyanam, akhil sattvanam, all living beings, whether they are tiriyak, lower than human beings, or devas, divokasam, whether they are living above, in the middle, or below regions, they are the controllers of them. But to speak of them that they will get implicated in any action or karma, he says it is not possible. Kushala anvaya. So how is that they can have any relationship with good or bad? That doesn't happen to them because they are immune to all that. So prastuta maha kimutaiti. So there is again not much commentary on this. He just writes that he is speaking about the prastuta. Means in the previous sloka he gave the principle of karma, how karma functions, how does one become implicated in karma and how one does not become implicated in karma. That was described in the previous sloka. So he said those who are nirahankari, means those who are not attached to the actions, so they do not have anything to gain or lose from good and bad karma respectively. And now he is applying this principle to the present situation, that what to speak of those who are controllers of these people. So how can they be implicated in karma? So in other words, how can Krishna be implicated in karma? And therefore we should know that the action which he did cannot be adharma, because adharma means which leads to suffering. Dharma means which leads to pleasure. This gives good result. That is dharma. This gives good adrishta, and which gives bad adrishta is adharma. Because dharma and adharma are used for actions as well as for the result of actions, both ways. So therefore it says that akhil sattvanam triyang marti divokshnam ishitu cha ishitavyanam. So there is a relationship of ishitri and ishitavya, means controller and the controlled. So there are Parameshwaras, there is Bhagavan who is Ishvara, who is the controller, who is the regulator, and others are controlled. So Ishvara is beyond karma. He is not under the law of karma. He is beyond dharma. And also that means he is beyond adharma. Because the people who give the result of dharma and adharma, they are also appointed by him. That's why Ajamila was protected by Vishnu Dutas, although he was a very adharmic person. So this, from dharma point of view, it makes no sense. How is that Ajamila did not go to hell? So that's why bhakti is different. Bhakti is not under the influence of dharma or karma. This is the teaching of Bhāgavatam, which is again difficult to understand. If we remain conditioned by the thinking in terms of dharma, we cannot understand bhakti, how it works. Bhakti is not influenced by that. Otherwise, how will you explain that Ajamila did not go to hell? Vishnu Dutas themselves came to protect him. This does not make sense by any dharma's principle. There is no smriti which can explain this. According to smriti, he should go to hell. That's what Yamdutas were saying, because they follow Smriti Shastra. So it's difficult to grasp this point. So if that can be understood, then we can also understand Krishna's activity. Otherwise, confusion continues. So I'll stop here if there is any question.
So it's about Arjuna not fulfilling the request of Krishna to kill the Brahmana. So then I was wondering, because if a devotee is following the desire of the Lord, although it's adharmic, should not be a problem, no? So then why he give priority to his thinking or his way to see the situation, or how is that?
Because Krishna was also trying to test him what he will do.
Okay.
He was trying to test him, or in other words, trying to teach us through Arjuna's example.
Mm-hmm. So that we have always to keep our discrimination, or?
Now we have to understand the intricacies of the principles. Discrimination is for that purpose, not that you now make your own decision. Okay. These examples are to teach that how the principles of dharma are also intricate.
Mm-hmm.
So he is to be killed because he is Attai, but then he is a Brahmabandhu, therefore he should not be killed.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore he did both. Killing is not always killing physically. Insulting a Brahmana is also death to him. So he insulted him, and that is death. So he followed his instruction, and all at the same time he did not kill him physically. So that means he is smart to know this.
Kill an wrestler, but not kill a Brahmana.
I had a question on the same point. When Chakravarti Pad says Bhagavato Vachopi in the last sentence of the commentary there?
Which one?
32. Just after he makes the citation.
32 does not...
Oh, sorry, I have a different count. The same verse that Kamala Mataji was talking about.
Okay. Bhagavata Vachopi.
Yeah.
Arjuna Ashwathama Vadvidhayakam Nepalitam. This one?
Yeah, so I just would like to just ask to confirm an understanding. So the verse is saying that one should perform actions that are in confirmation with the words of the Ishvara. And that this is to be done by someone who has buddhi, or in other words, exercising the buddhi to that effect. Then he's commenting buddhiman iti tatrapi vicharja, right? That the actions are also to be examined with the buddhi to see that they're in confirmation with the words. Then the example, at least to me, initially appeared like a contradiction, because it's not showing exercise of buddhi simply on an action, but on a word. In other words, on a statement of Krishna, even though the verse is talking about actions that are in confirmation with statements. So my question is that he adds the api, seems to imply that he's saying not only upon actions that conform with words, but even upon words themselves in the context of the broader understanding or the broader message and teaching of the Ishvara. Is that the way that it's intended?
Yeah. Because then when it comes to dharma, there are contradictory statements within the realm of dharma also. Especially if you read Purvamimamsa, Udayataji hoti, Anudayataji hoti, etc. statements are there. So you have to do vichar there. Tatrapi vicharya. It's not that, oh, it is written here, so I do it. So you have to have proper picture, you have to do balabal vichar. Some statements are stronger than other statements, or some statements are for different adhikari, not for you. So that vichar has to be done. Shailesh.
Pranam Swamiji. I have a question on verse 29 about the statement that great personality is not influenced by the transgression of the morality. So this law applies also to people who are within the gunas. Is that correct?
Within the gunas. If they are acting within gunas, then it does not apply to them. That's the whole idea.
Okay.
That's why I said nirahankarinam later on, the last verse which I said. If they are within the gunas, then they will be influenced by them. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankar vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Okay. Yes.
So there's a follow-up from Mohini to yesterday's question. So yesterday you explained how nowadays devotees shouldn't give up adharma in order to become devotees, right?
Not only nowadays, always.
Good. So,
why nowadays?
So she writes, many Western people who are getting attracted to Krishna consciousness are already vegan, have ethical and moral values in life, have a good consciousness, are engaged in other paths like yoga, Ayurveda, shamanism, etc. So what is adharmic in that? Could you say something on that?
Man, I did not say that is adharmic. When did I say? Did I say? I never said. I only said give up adharma. I did not say that being vegan is adharma.
So she asks, what is then adharma?
What is adharma? What is against Shastric injunction is called adharma. Shastra says don't tell lies. Simple thing. Satyam vada. So that is adharma if you tell lies. Doing violence to others is adharma. It's simple. Everybody knows this. What is adharma? It's basic thing. Don't we know that telling lies is adharma? Is there anyone who does not know this? Irrespective of whether they are belonging to any dharma or not, whether they believe in God or not, everybody knows that telling lies is not good. This much we know, right? So practice that. That is adharma if you don't practice it. Causing harm to others, even those who eat meat, they know that causing harm to others is not good. Although they may be eating meat, but they know it. So that should be avoided. Cheating others, everybody knows, should not cheat others. Deceiving, hypocrisy, being greedy. I don't think anyone who doesn't know this. But people cheat all the time. They cheat their partners, family members, friends. Okay, Bhadra.
Pranam Swamaji. What is the difference between the situation in which Arjuna didn't kill Ashvatthama? Krishna said to Arjuna to kill Ashvatthama and he didn't, and it was okay. But then at the beginning of the Battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna gave the same argument that this is adharmic because I am killing my teachers, and there were, I think, there were also Brahmins there, and still Krishna said, that's your duty, you should do it.
Because there he was trying to run away from the duty. He was not doing this, that he is a Brahman, therefore I should not kill Brahman. As a Kshatriya, they are standing with Duryodhana. And this has to be set right. Now by killing Ashvatthama, there is nothing to be gained. But there they have to get back their kingdom. And if Dronacharya is there, then he has to be removed. At that time, even Aswathama has to be killed, they would kill. Okay, you have.
Thank you, Babaji.
I had a question related to Shloka 32. So, if I understand properly, those who are nirahankari, while performing some adharmic action, do not get the fruit of this adharmic action. But at the same time, we don't really see people without nirahankari performing any adharmic action. So, is it just a theoretical statement?
Just like Ajamila. Ajamila was doing adharma. Naturally, those who are nirahankari, why would they engage in adharma? This is what people do not understand. It's very problematic statement, when Krishna says sarv dharman parityajya, then people think, we don't have to follow dharma because we are bhaktas, so we don't have to follow dharma. That's not what he means. And it's not that devotees should not be dharmic or they should give up their dharmic duties. That is not the point. Point is that if you are depending on Bhagwan, then you are not depending on dharma. You are depending on param dharma. Not that you give up this. In other words, if dharma is coming on way to your param dharma, then you should give that up. So otherwise, why should nirahankari person perform a dharmic thing? It's not that devotees have a license to be adharmic. That's why I said when he says sarv dharman parityajya, it also means sarv adharman parityajya. Otherwise people misinterpret this. They think, we give up dharma but we continue with adharma because we are free, we are beyond karma. That's not true. Anyone who thinks this, he will be implicated. This is one of the nama aparadh, to perform sinful adharmic act on the strength of name. That's an offense. You will get more heavy result than a normal adharmic person.